Hey guys, welcome back to Mac Farms. We're here today tapping some maple trees. I figured you guys might want to see something a little bit different than tractor restoration. I know that's pretty much the majority of what the videos have been all winter, but it's springtime now. We're heading into spring, I guess, and we're ready to start tapping maple trees. And it's actually a little bit earlier than I usually tap. I'm usually late, which is why, but I think the trees are starting to run. It's pretty windy and cold here today, but we've had some mild weather, so anyway, we're tapping trees here. I decided to hang up a few buckets this year, so I'm just going to do that right now. I got a couple trees over here. We're going to throw some buckets on, and we'll just keep moving along. Alright, so I selected 3 trees over here I'm going to tap. So this is one of them. And I got a, I can't remember what it is, 7/16 I think, drill bit in it. So we're just going to drill a hole. Hopefully you guys can see me half decent. Just like that. I kind of have to blow it out a bit. Alright. Take there. Tap. Pound it in. And I get my bucket behind me. We got our bucket like that. I kind of wanted to hang it on the other side of the tree, but for you guys, I hung it there. It's windy today, so it's kind of blowing around a bit, but it's not a big deal. Oh, it fell off. Those hooks could really have more of a hook on them. Anyway, that's how they came. So that's one bucket. I'm gonna hang 2 over on this other side here. I don't even know if I'm in frame or not. I'm gonna hang 2 on the trees here next to me, and we'll move on. Alright, so this one here I decided we're going to do a little bit differently. We got kind of like a cluster of maples here, so rather than hang, 3 buckets on it, I'm just going to run them all into this one 5-gallon bucket. So I just got my length of tube here. Oops. And if I had a thought to turn the camera on this minute ago, you would have seen me cut this piece off. But anyway, we're just going to tap a hole in the tree there, and we'll run the tube into the bucket like that. And there's like 3 I think here, so we'll just do the same thing and run the 3 of them into this one bucket, and I'll show you guys when we're done. I gotta switch drill bits for this one. This takes a smaller drill bit than the other ones do. It's kind of too short, isn't it? Too short. All right. Alright, there's that one. So I find it easier to use hot water to push these on. Unfortunately, not in the tree, but on the end of the tube, I mean. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my thermos. So the closest thing I could find was a Yeti cup, but it seems to be doing the trick. So just put her in there for a couple minutes. Maybe not even that long. It's keeping it pretty cold, pretty hot, I mean. I think there's a special tool you can get that's probably expensive for pushing these on. But anyway. It's not technically the same tree, but whatever. Good grief. This bit that I'm using now is actually designed for this, and it's quite sharp, I find, and aggressive too. It cuts pretty quick, so you gotta kind of watch it. It'll pretty well sink that entire bit in the tree in a blink of an eye. So anyway, that should be long enough there. And we'll do one more in the hot water. So I'm doing this tree like this group of 3, and I got another tree, it's just got 2 taps on it. One tree with 1 tap on either side. I'm gonna do the same thing. I won't show it, but I'm gonna do the same thing with that tree. And I think we got another half a dozen buckets or so left to put out. So anyway, we're getting through it. So this one should be ready to push on now. There we go. So tap this into a tree on this side, I think. We'll go around, same as before. Just like that. And get our hammer. There's another one. That's 3 of them. There's one tree over there that's pretty near big enough to be tapped, but I think I'll leave it. So now we just got to insert this into the bucket. Now, looks like I bring a bucket with no holes in it, so that's good. It doesn't matter. We're just gonna shove the tube through the lid. That'll be just fine, I think. Carry all my crap. There we go. So that's 3 taps run into the 1 bucket. That's how we do that. Well, I'm out here again. This video isn't exactly going how I planned it. I think in the last clip, I don't even remember what I did in the last clip. I think we were tapping these trees here and getting them ready. But my plan was to move forward and then tap the main line and show that running and then collecting. But anyway, I still haven't got the main line up and running. I got it flushed out. I tapped, I think, 2 laterals on it, so it's ready to go. I had to fix some stuff on the pump. It should be running now, but unfortunately I haven't been able to get out here for the last probably 2 weeks. Just for different reasons. Brielle was home with the cold from daycare for a week, so I couldn't very well come out here. I had to babysit her, so. Anyway, it is what it is. 2 weeks later now. Came to check on these buckets. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I thought that they'd be pretty much overflowing, but it just hasn't been running too good, I guess. And now we're getting to the point where it's warm enough in the night that it's not really warming up a whole much more in the day. Like it's above freezing, even in the nighttime. But I think we're supposed to get, hopefully we're gonna get some more cold temperatures, but after this spell, but I don't know. We'll probably leave the trees tapped for another couple weeks and then pull the plug. I'm not going to leave it go all April like I did, the last couple of years. We're just going to leave it till maybe the second week in April, and that'll be what it'll be. And we'll pull the plugs then, pull the taps then, I guess we should say. So anyway, I never checked these buckets yet. My kind of top producing tree, I was all excited there to go and collect the sap from him. I figured for sure he'd have a full bucket, because even I was out a few days ago, it was running, not a few days ago, but last week, or the week before, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I was out not long after I tapped him, and it was running pretty good. There was probably a gallon in the bucket at that time, so I figured for sure that thing would be overflowing by now, but just the snow melting underneath the bucket and that, the thing tipped over, spilled all the sap out of the bucket. There wasn't a drop in it, so. And I seen the other 5-gallon bucket I got set up here is the same thing. It's tipped over on its side, so there's not going to be much anything in that. So anyway, and a couple of the buckets have blown off the trees in the wind we've had too. So I haven't got much sap yet. I'll show you here in the bucket. There's a bit of dirt and stuff in it right now. We gotta filter it when we get back to the farm, but yeah, not a whole lot. So we'll just maybe I'll look in these buckets live. Not too much, a little bit. I'll empty them here, see what we get. There's not a whole lot, but it's something. So I'd like to say I forgot the tripod when I came out, but I decided I didn't need to bring it. The last one I just dumped it out, just as a pure water. So. Anyway, there's a little bit of sap. Not quite half a bucket yet. So we'll put the lid on. These lids, by the way, I bought them a while ago. They're pretty expensive, but I find them all right for dry stuff, but I don't think they're any good for liquid. It'll splash out, so don't buy them. Well, I made it out to the sap hut here. Somebody's been in here. Nothing looks at the place though, so that's all right. People can come and look in it, I guess, if they have to. Just don't wreck it. So off camera, I guess, when I was out here, I didn't make a video about it, but I installed these brass shutoffs on the lateral lines. So anyway, I'm going to turn the pump on here now. I got a little adapter I have to put back on. That's why the pump is it's just sitting there. So I gotta fix that, and we'll get the sap pumping on the first few lines, and then we'll start tapping. Well, I got it running now. You can probably hear it in there, maybe not, I don't know, but it's pulling some, but it's not pulling what I think it should be. I just opened this here, that there valve. So that's the only one that's open right now, and it's not really moving much. I had this one open, but I just closed it because I seen down there, it looks like a tap out. So I must not have finished that line like I thought I did. But anyway, this line is finished, so it should be pulling. Even my recirculation line, like usually Usually it runs that alright, but it doesn't seem to be pulling through that either. So I'm not sure if there's something going on with the pump or what. I just stuck it in that bucket. And I really don't have the time this year for doing any real troubleshooting. So anyway, we'll tap a few more trees and finish off that line, I guess, then it'll be lunchtime. I'll give you guys an update if anything changes. Well, I found my problem. I just took a walk down the line and I noticed that the very last line, very last lateral, the valve was open on it, so that wasn't tapped either, so it was just sucking air. So it seems to be getting better now. It's drawing a little bit of a vacuum. I took it out of that other little tank there, so it's not recirculating very much, but looks like it might come around. I'm going to open up the valves down here and see what we can get here. Let's see. A little bit went there, didn't it? Let's try this one. Whoop, around like that. Focus, yes, no, maybe. It's just not interested. Alright. Yes, I'm coming down there now. Alright. Alright. That should make a difference. Should start pumping a little bit more. There's just a little bit of water in the bottom of the barrel, that's all. So anyway, we'll leave it. That's enough for today, I think. Anyway guys, I think I'm going to cut the video right here. It didn't really go as I planned it, but I guess that just happens sometimes. So yeah, I'll do another video out here or two maybe before we're done, but this will be it for now. Just getting up and running. Hope you guys enjoyed this much anyway, and we'll see you in the next one.